My name is Jacob Deason. I have an idea for a fantasy fiction movie titled The Hobbit. In Act 1, we meet Bilbo Baggins. This is a story about how Baggins had an adventure and found himself doing and saying things altogether unexpected. Bilbo Baggins is an unlikely hero. He is a hobbit. They are tiny people with thick hair on their feet and a round belly. Bilbo is a timid, insecure hobbit who is asked to be a burglar with a team of dwarves and a wizard. Gandalf is an old and wise wizard who magically appears when he is most needed throughout the story. He uses a great staff that holds immense power and magic. Bilbo needs strength and confidence on his journey to find the treasure they seek, which happens to be guarded by the fierce dragon Smaug. "Don't be a fool, Bilbo Baggins," he said to himself, thinking of dragons and all the outlandish nonsense at your age. The story takes place in a fantasy world starting at Bilbo's house in the tiny village of Hobbiton. The setting moves with the group through rivers, caves, forests, and mountains. The team encounters many strange and fierce creatures they must battle along the way. The tone in the beginning is comical when unexpected guests begin to fill Bilbo's hobbit hole. Dwarves take over Bilbo's hobbit hole with a party-like atmosphere. The mood turns exciting when Bilbo shows his most courageous act. He decides to leave the dwarves with the Arkenstone in order to offer it to the wood elves and the Lakemen. "This is the Arkenstone of Thran," said Bilbo, "the heart of the mountain, and it is also the heart of Thorn. He values it above a river of gold. I give it to you. It will aid you in your bargaining." He believes that is the only way to peacefully end the conflict between the elves, men, and dwarves, even though he will most likely be killed for this action. In Act 3, the mood becomes tense and exciting when Thorin and the dwarves become angry with Bilbo for taking the Arkenstone. You, cried Thorin, turning upon him and grasping him with both hands. "You miserable hobbit, you undersized burglar." He shouted at a loss for words and shook poor Bilbo like a rabbit. Gandalf arrives in the nick of time to help poor Bilbo. Eventually, the dwarves, elves, and humans are forced to unite against the goblins and wargs in the Battle of the Five Armies. The story becomes somber when we discover that Thorin has been mortally wounded during the battle. Bilbo knelt on one knee, filled with sorrow. "Farewell, King under the mountain," he said. "This is a bitter adventure if it must end so, and not a mountain of gold can amend it." Fortunately, the dwarves, elves, and men win the Battle of the Five Armies. They solve their differences and find peace. Gandalf and Bilbo start their long journey home. Once he returns to Hobbiton, Bilbo finds the other hobbits do not like him anymore. After his amazing adventure, Bilbo respects himself and does not care what other hobbits think of him. I am sorry to say he did not mind. He was quite content, and the sound of the kettle on his hearth was ever after more musical than it had been even in the quiet days before the unexpected party.